Alright, we have here the Ride Engineering axle blocks floating design. This one uses a YC250 axle, nut and bolt. And so after reading Kiefer's testing review, according to him, this helps a lot in fast choppy conditions and coming out of corners in roads that have a bunch of choppy things. And to me it makes perfect sense because on the KTM you have one of the axles just lock and it is not able to move freely, and that adds rigidity whenever you're accelerating and the bike is under pressure and is squatting. It's putting pressure into the axle block, and to me it's just simply physics. You cannot argue the point that when one of the sides is just locked and the other one is moving freely, it's gonna create for me some disimbalance and rigidity. So for me, I think I'll be able to see a difference, and even if it's small, but as long as it's some difference, that's a plus to me. And it's like $160 I paid with shipping and everything included. But I also obviously like the way they look, more anodized baby for the bike. And this one is a 22mm axle. That's why they grab it from the Yamaha 250, because for KTM 22 factory edition and KTM 2023s, they went to a 22mm. Before it used to use a 25mm axle, so that's why they have to change the design to make a new one. But Kiefer also mentions that if you ride only sand, you probably won't be able to tell the difference since sand is very plush. But if you ride mid-terrain to hardpack, you'll be able to tell more on the choppy conditions and all those braking bumps that are super close to each other. And I feel that I'm pretty good at testing things. I definitely can tell whenever I make a small change on my bike. So I'm excited to try it and see if I feel a difference. And even if I don't, I know it's helping, because it's just like I said, if you have one side locked in and the other one is floating, obviously it's gonna create some rigidity and disimbalance. And all Japanese bikes, they use the floating design, and the reason why Ride Engineers started doing this with KTM's actually is because Ryan Dungey was testing this, and they were trying to get better traction through the whoops and going straight through the whoops, because before it used to kick a little bit the rear. And they ended up trying a floating design on the factory KTM's, and right away obviously they're professionals and they're doing at speeds that we don't, but right away they were able to tell the difference. And I keep checking, and as of right now they always running the floating design on the factory KTM's, so that tells you something. And yeah, I think it's a cool buy. It's gonna make the bike look cooler. It's gonna help with your traction. Even if you don't feel it, I know it will help. So I'm pretty excited. This is the first time I'm trying this, and I've had like 5 KTM's now, and I've never had this, so it'll be interesting to have it for the first time. Alright, we're about to remove these. Those are the stocks. These are the ones that is glued together. I'll show you once I take it out. So as you can see, this is the stock KTM. This axle is axle block is glued, and that's basically the difference on this kit. It's just making the float where you have two separate and they can move independently. Alright, check it out. That's how it looks installed. It looks pretty cool. I like it a lot. Let's get a different angle. And the other side, I have to run to the store because I don't have a 27mm socket. That's the one that I use on the Yamaha axle nut. 27mm, I don't have that one, but I'm gonna go to the store and go get one. But yeah, I'm excited to try it out. Let's go. Alright, I'm going to I've been using the Ride Engineering floating axle blocks. Right now it's towards the end of the day. The track is pretty choppy, a lot of braking bumps, and it's pretty hard packed, so going to go back to the stock one and see whether I feel a comfort or not, and then I'm going to go back again with the right engineering to see if I can tell the difference, whether this purchase was worth it or not. Let's go. Alright, this is the stock axle block. So I got my little toy bike right here, and I'm going to do the best to explain the differences that I felt with the Ride Engineering floating axle blocks. What I definitely noticed is when pretend this is a bunch of braking bumps. When I was going with the stock one, the rear end will deflect more side to side. When I was going, like I said, on the braking bumps, it would be more unpredictable, where it would just kick the rear end to the left or to the right. And with the Ride Engineer, the bike, honestly, and I'm not kidding, the bike just feels more planted, and it just, through the braking bumps, it feels like it just goes straight and doesn't really kick much side to side. And it just makes so much sense, because you have the two axles floating instead of having the left side rigid and creating that rigidity and making the bike feel unbalanced. And that's why on Supercross, that's the main issue that we're having, is that on the Supercross the bike wouldn't track straight through the whoops. And with those floating design axles, that was a fix. It was tracking much better straight on the whoops, and I felt it on the braking bumps. Definitely, this is the best upgrade that I've done to my bike, honestly. I will take this over the other upgrade that I did of the power flow kit, and much better to spend it on these axle blocks, because this improves the handling on your bike, and I definitely noticed a difference. So look what I got. Akrapovic exhaust system. I got the muffler. I haven't even opened the box yet. I'm gonna do another review of unboxing, and stay tuned for that video coming up soon. Also, my front suspension, I just sent it out today. That's gonna be a pretty cool surprise. Very cool design that I found talking to a friend and searching online. So stay tuned for that video as well of the suspension. This is going to be my first time that I'm getting any suspension done. I always rode just stock air forks, and I'm very excited. That's the only thing that the bike is missing, is just a good front suspension, and we'll finally get it for the first time. I am stoked.